Okay, so what if I told you that most AI agents out there are secretly being overcharged? That there's this massive hidden tax they're paying every single time they run? Well, today we're going to look at a super simple tool that promises to fix a problem almost nobody is talking about, and it could save developers an absolute fortune in the process.
It all kicks off with this quote from developer Khan Yilmaz. He says, "The tax is on the instruction manual." Now, what on earth does that mean, right? Well, this one idea is really the key to understanding this huge inefficiency in how our AI agents learn to use new tools.
So, let's get right into it. What is this hidden tax? To really get a handle on the cost, we first have to look at the system that's creating it. It's called the Model Context Protocol, or MCP for short. Now, the official docs describe MCP as kinda like a universal connector, a USB-C port for AI. And it's a great idea. It's a standard that lets agents plug into all sorts of external tools. We're talking Google Calendar, databases, search engines, you name it. It's really powerful, but it has one very expensive habit.
And here it is. This is the catch. Before an agent can use even one little tool, MCP makes it read the entire instruction manual. And I mean the full, super detailed technical blueprint, the JSON schema for every single tool it has access to. It's like being forced to read the entire Encyclopedia Britannica just to look up one word. It's kind of crazy.
And here's the actual price tag. For a pretty standard setup of about 84 tools, that initial reading of the manual eats up over 15,000 tokens. Now, you can think of tokens as the currency AI uses. Every word, every command, it all costs tokens. So this is a massive upfront payment before the agent has done a single useful thing. That is the hidden tax.
So you might be asking, what's the alternative? Well, instead of just dumping everything up front, what if we used a classic command line interface, a CLI? A CLI is just a simple text-based way to talk to a program. It just gives the agent a basic list of tool names. The agent only asks for the detailed instructions for a specific tool when it actually needs it. It's a just-in-time approach instead of just in case. Much smarter.
And that's exactly where Clihub comes into the picture. It's this beautifully simple tool that basically acts as a bridge. It takes any standard MCP server with all its powerful tools, and with just one single command, it packages them all up into a clean, efficient command line interface. And the process itself? It's incredibly straightforward. First, Clihub connects to the server. Then, it discovers the list of available tools. After that, it generates the necessary code, and finally, it compiles it all into a single, ready-to-use file. That's it. A super elegant, four-step process that's completely automated. And what you get at the end of all this is pretty much the perfect tool for an AI agent. It's a single file that just works, anywhere, on any system. Linux, Mac, Windows, doesn't matter. You don't need any extra software, no complicated config files, just a clean, simple, and really robust tool that's ready to go.
But okay, let's look at the numbers, because this is where it gets really wild. Right at the start of a session, the CLI approach saves a whopping 98% of the token cost. But check this out. Even after using one tool, MCP is still costing you over 15,000 tokens, while the CLI is under 1,000. That's a 94% saving. And that insane efficiency basically holds up even as you start using more and more tools.
To put it another way, just look at this difference. For the simple act of using just one tool, the old MCP method is over 17 times more expensive in tokens than using the CLI. That's not just a little improvement. That's a completely different league of efficiency.
So here's the bottom line, the main takeaway. Across most common scenarios, using a CLI that was generated by Clihub just wipes out about 94% of the token overhead. That huge red slice you see, that's the hidden tax that agents have been paying all this time, and Clihub pretty much erases it.
Now, those savings are obviously incredible. But it does bring up another question, doesn't it? Is this whole thing just about cost? Or is there something fundamentally better about a well-designed command line interface for an AI agent?
It really is about more than just the cost. A good CLI is powerful because it's designed for interaction. It's consistent and predictable. Its features are easy for the agent to discover with simple help commands. And maybe most importantly, its simple parts can be combined, like puzzle pieces, to build really complex, powerful workflows. It's just a better, more natural way for an agent to work.
And this is where things get truly groundbreaking.
The new workflow for an AI agent could look something like this. First, it checks if it has a tool it needs. If it doesn't, it looks for an MCP server that might have it. And if it finds one, it actually uses Clihub to build the tool for itself, right there on the fly.
I mean, just stop and think about the implications of that for a second. We are moving away from agents that are just given a fixed set of tools, to agents that can autonomously discover and literally compile their own tools whenever they need them. They can expand their own capabilities, all on their own, with zero human intervention. This is a massive leap forward.
And that leaves us with one last really fascinating question to chew on. If an agent can identify a need it has, find a blueprint for a tool online, and then build that tool for itself, what does that mean for the future of automation? We're not just giving them fish anymore. We're giving them the ability to build their own fishing rods. And what happens next? Well, that's anyone's guess.